Hi, welcome to the book Babble for March. It's a little late, but things have been a little strange in the household since we lost our little kitty cat. So I've got 4 for you today, and they're all, let's see. Oh, let's start with The Last by Hannah Jameson. If you liked books like Peter Heller's Dog Stars and Emily St. John Mandel's Station 11, then this is for you. It is set in Switzerland during a nuclear attack. Basically, the world is wiped out and the remaining survivors are in the Swiss hotel, which is very, very odd. It has very weird history. I think that the main character is a historian who is there for a conference, and in order to maintain his humanity, when they find the body of a little girl in one of the water tanks, he decides to investigate the murder. He has some help from an American student who, to start with, doesn't seem to be a sympathetic character, but she does kind of grow on you. Also, there are people who aren't from the hotel, and they're getting closer, and it's possible that they have bad intentions. So it was really good. It says it's chilling, it is, but it's also very well written, and it was a great read. So this one comes in April, so it's not far off. April the 9th, The Last will be published. Hannah Jameson. Next, let's try to get these in date order. I might have messed up. Oh no, I didn't. Look at me go. Okay, so next one is, this one is coming out in May. The new Jeffrey Deaver, The Never Game. This is the start of a new series, and the protagonist in this is a guy called Coulter Shaw. Coulter comes from a family of survivalists. We don't quite know why his father decided to take them out into the middle of nowhere and teach them survival skills, but I'm sure that's coming. So in this first one, Coulter kind of, he roams around solving missing persons cases. That seems to be his main focus. And a girl goes missing in California, close to where he is, so he gets involved in finding the girl and claiming the reward. The reward is not always the first thing on his mind. He's more interested in saving lives. He's very clever, but he's not so clever that you are that he figures things out in no time flat. It's set obviously in Silicon Valley, so there's going to be lots of tech stuff, computer games. He gets involved personally with this case when another victim is taken, and it seems that the person that is taking them is reenacting scenes from a video game called The Whispering Man. And each level gets progressively harder, and we join him at level 3, where he's trying to save someone from a sinking ship. And it was a great read. It's very fast paced because it's Jeffrey Deaver, but I liked the way that he sets up the actual story for the storyline for the whole series towards the end of the book. You get little glimpses of it, but then it's suddenly front and centre, and I think it's going to make an interesting series. So yes, Jeffrey Deaver, The Never Game, May the 14th. Okay, next, because I'm so on point here. Oh, these are both July, so I'll do them as they come. So Jay Stringer, Mara Chase and the Conqueror's Tomb. If you liked Indiana Jones movies, you're going to love this book. if you like female heroines like Lara Croft, then you're also going to love this book. It is Mara is she's a relic hunter, so she's on the dark side of archaeology, and she is given the option by MI6 to be either recruited to find something that they are desperately looking for, or to spend the rest of her life in jail. And of course she picks the recruitment option. I should also mention that Mara is she's Jewish, and she's also gay, which is fine. There's some interesting storylines which play on from that. I liked her attitude. I loved the action scenes. This could be turned into a movie very easily. The baddies are called visitologists. I will leave that for you to figure out who you think they are. And it's set mainly in London, although there are, obviously, because it's an archaeological book, there's going to be trips around the world, but they're looking for the tomb of Alexander the Great and something that Alexander used to do all that conquering, which may actually still work. And Mara's in a race against time. The visitologists have got their own expert, and she's also fighting off somebody. There's another faction who want to protect the tomb at all costs, and that means killing anyone that knows anything about it. The Knights of St. Mark, I think they're called. But yes, it's the start of a series, and it was really great. So this one is the 2nd of July. And last, but definitely not least, The Saturday Night Ghost Club by Craig Davidson. It's coming out in July, and when I found this in my box, I actually thought that it had gone into the wrong box, that it was for one of the young adult readers, because the cover kind of looks a bit young adult, but it's actually not. It's very, very clever. It tells the story of Jake Butler, and Jake, who is now Jacob, is telling the story from his adult perspective. Jake is a brain surgeon, and a very good one, and you get little vignettes, little snippets of his work and how it has worked and sometimes not worked. But this is actually the story of Jake when he was 12 years old, bookish, bullied. He lives in a town very close to Niagara Falls, and it's full of tourists during the summer and dead in the winter. And it's coming of age story, it's a ghost story, but it's also a very, it's quite poignant when you realise what is actually going on, and you won't, even though I tell you that there is something else going on, you won't figure it out. So the Saturday Night Ghost Club consists of Dove and Billy Yellowbird, Jake, Jake's Uncle Calvin, and Uncle Calvin's friend, I believe his name is Leo. And it's supposed to be a summer thing, it's supposed to be just a bit of fun, and it starts to become very obvious that it's more like a pilgrimage than an actual club. There's coming of age stuff. Jake falls in love for the first time. He starts to see things from a more adult perspective. It's well written. It's short. I mean, look, that's why I actually thought it was a kid's book. But it's not going to be in hardcover, and I don't think that's a bad thing, because I think it's an easy hand sell, and I actually think that it would work for teens, but it would also work for adults because of the themes that are going on under the surface. So it could be read on two levels. You could read it as a kind of a teen adventure with a little bit of adult stuff thrown in, or you could read it for the issues that it raises very sneakily. But yes, it's a great book. The cover, I'm not sure if this is going to be the cover. It might be, but even if it's not, it was a surprise. This, not surprising news coming from Penguin, because there's the Penguin. There's the Penguin. Yes, this comes out on the 2nd, no, comes out on the 9th of July. And that's pretty much all I have. Lots of new books coming out, so obviously things are moving along nicely. The book that I'm about to publish will be out in April, and it is called A Robust Revenge, and it is part 3 of the Merrin Callan saga. And that's pretty much all I have. I hope you enjoyed our little run through these books, and see you next time.